Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I am in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm at the Jets in Capital event, and I have my first guest on the line, Victor Cho. Victor, welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right, so Victor, this is my first Jets in Capital event, and I'm excited. Like I've been hearing from, we do a lot of work with Kathleen Tepley, and she comes on the show all the time, and she's like, you got to meet Jordan Hutchinson. You got to meet all these people, like Jets in Capital. This is where you need to be. Go do some podcast interviews. And I'm like, all right, let me see. And I know we're just getting started here, and I'm like, it looks amazing. So how did you originally learn about Jets in Capital?
So a good friend of mine, Alexander McCobin, who runs this network called the Principal Business Summit, introduced me. This is my first time as well. So
we're both noobs.
Yeah, so
I'll take that.
We're both noobs. And I'm looking around, I'm seeing these Jets. I'm like, this is one of the coolest venues for an event that I have ever been to, I must say.
Yeah. So talk a little bit more about what you do.
So I am the CEO and co-founder of a AI company. Mm-hmm. Not that we need more, but we
Yes, we do.
Ours is very important.
Okay.
And it comes back to purpose and mission. So before this, I was running Evite, the online invitation network. You might have heard of that one. Mm-hmm. And that was a big network. I had reached like 100 million people in the US.
100 million people.
But the thing we're going after now is like magnitudes larger. So in business, we're going after the problem of business communication. Mm-hmm. So today, you and I, if we hadn't met, our main ways of communicating would have been email.
Yep.
Maybe Zoom. If I started to trust you, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give up some time, get on a calendar. These communication forms with AI are going to get decimated in terms of authenticity.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to know is that the person I'm talking to? Is that just an AI deep fake? Did they even write the words? And so the fact that authenticity in our communication channels is at risk is basically what we're fighting. So we're building a new communication platform. It has video in it, it has audio, it has text, but it is authentic and authenticated. And it'll allow you to basically be very confident that the person you're talking to is the person.
Yeah,
they say they are, and it will come with all the emotion of video, validated video.
Have you always? I know you mentioned the last company, but have you always been an entrepreneur? Like, have you ever had that in you?
No, yeah. Like when I was a kid in high school, I was one of the.
What were you selling? Hold on, what were you selling? Tell me, we're getting it all. What were you selling?
This is kind of funny. When I was in so way before your time, because I can tell you're super young. But there were these little devices called the Commodore 64. It was like my first computer. When I got that, I was like, I'm going to be a computer person. I didn't even know the
Wow,
terms.
Really?
And then at some point, I'm like, I'm going to be the general of computers, because I didn't know any business terms. I didn't even know there was a CEO.
Hold on, that's still cool. To be the general.
I was like, I'm not going to be a horrible soldier, but I'm like,
I love
strategy.
Go ahead.
But long story short, so I've had a long history in technology, all the way from that was like late 80s, through places like Microsoft, Intuit, iVillage, Kodak. Yeah. But I consider myself an anti-tech bro. I'm in.
I'm in. I get it. What I'm a fan of is when individuals that have, they got that entrepreneurial side in them, and they've been, maybe they worked at some big companies, maybe they've seen some other things, and they can bring some of those learnings to their ventures and otherwise. And to me, all the things that are taking place, as long as they're doing it with mission based, there's a goal behind it. There's something that's going to improve the society.
Yes.
At least their intent is. We never know, until we look back sometimes.
No, that's
but
right.
At least that's the intent. Like, I'm all for it.
It is. So it's so funny. Some friends of mine from college, maybe a year ago, they called me up in the middle of the night, and they're like, "Hey, Victor, we have to know. We've been talking about this. Like, are you a tech bro?" And the way they said it, I was like, well, if I say yes, I know that's a bad thing. I'm pretty sure. But I had to actually think deeply about what is a tech bro? And I've come up with my own kind of conclusion, which is there are these executives that are just chasing the technology for the sake of the technology. And they are losing sight of the broader purpose. And more importantly, they're losing sight of what are the downstream impacts of the solution that you're building.
Yeah.
Right. Facebook's a great example. Zuckerberg didn't build Facebook to disseminate misinformation and create depression.
Of course.
But there's a clear second order effect that's happening in these networks. And so they need to do more. My take is they need to do more. And any technologist, any entrepreneur needs to think about both the purpose and also the downstream impacts of what they're building.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, did you mention you're going to be on stage later talking at the event?
I will. We've got just a couple minutes sliver.
Nobody's going to hear on this one because it's going to be released later. But for the people at home or that are on YouTube or listening to our podcast, what are some of the things you're going to go over?
This audience gets a nice little secret teaser. So we have two layers of our product. One is a communication platform. So, and you can go to emovid.com today. We're live. If you go there, you can sign up. You can start trying the product. You and I can basically start getting instantaneous video-based exchanges back and forth on our own time. So the way we describe this is you can get FaceTime on your own time. And there's no other way to do that other than this, right? Being in person.
Of course.
Or getting on Zoom. That's it. And so this is an incredibly powerful platform. What I'm going to share with the audience is a generative AI, which is not yet released, but is coming, which is going to do some amazing things. I guess I can talk about it at this level. One of the things that makes people a little bit more hesitant to put themselves out there in video in business is they don't look the way they look. So this is a great example. We're going to use generative AI to make you look your best, but authentically your best. So we're not going to make you look like you never looked before. We're just going to say like, hey, give us the best picture of the way you looked, and let's make you look at least that good.
I'm all for that. I'm on camera all the time, and I'm like, make me look better right now, Victor. No.
You look fine. I'm sure you
Come on, no, it's all good. I'm just that's for the people back at the office that are like, Adam, you got to whatever. That's for you. All right, you already know. I don't have to do anything because Victor's solving it for me, so I don't have to do anything. It's fine. So give us some of the plans, like plans for growth, plans for the future for the company in general, like where you're at in the plans for the future.
Yes. So we had a kind of what I call a closed beta through the first part of the year. We got ourselves out in front of individuals and got customer feedback. I'm a huge believer. Are you familiar with the Net Promoter?
Oh yeah, NPS.
Okay, so NPS, all the businesses I've run have always gotten into 80+ Net Promoter range, which is actually very hard, but it's something that I fundamentally believe you have to build an amazing product. So our first turn of the crank was let's get individuals in, right? Let's kind of build a very solid product. Our second turn of the crank just started around Thanksgiving, where we opened ourselves up to businesses. So businesses are now coming onto our platform and starting to pay us, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Our third turn of the crank is going to be kind of opening up that even broader and then launching some of our generative AI. So that'll be coming in 2025.
Fantastic. What year are we in right now? Yeah, exactly. Well, Victor, final question. I want you to look into the camera. How can people follow up? How can they learn more? How can they access it?
Go to emovid.com, www.emovid.com, and you can go straight to our product. If you want to learn more about myself, my ethos around anti-tech bro, making the world a better place. It's what I call building business citizens in the world. You can find that all at victorcho.com, victorcho.com.
Fantastic. And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll definitely put the links in the show notes, so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow. And Victor, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage. Thanks for coming on.
Such a pleasure.